Wow, here we are. Look at that. Look at that. How is everyone? Nice to see so many people here. And we're back. After 2 weeks off, we are back with the live show. This is our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling. Just about everything and anything to keep you inspired. That's the whole idea, is to keep you inspired. Also, there is no gatekeeping here. We break down the gates. We hold the gates wide open. I don't care what pen you use. I don't care how much you spent for your pen. I just want you writing and inspired. I don't care how you hold your pen. I'm just happy you're writing. So all are welcome here. The only pushback you'll get from me is when someone is gatekeeping. It's just one of my little things that irk me. So very happy to see everyone here. I have a really fun, exciting show for you this evening. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a while and a lot has happened. So we have some news to catch up on. And there's some pretty epic news out there. Pretty exciting stuff. So I think you'll be impressed with some of the news. I also want to talk a little bit about the channel and some of the things that have been going on. There's a lot of channel news. And in my back pocket, I have the stats. I love to share statistics now and then. And I think I'll dedicate that to Ali J, who hates when I talk about stats. So I think I'll dedicate those to her. So we might do that if we have time. I did print them all out, but we have a lot to talk about. So our main topic is, oops, I did it again. I made you believe I wouldn't buy another pen. Oh, baby, baby. I guess I'm not that innocent. Don't ever let me do that again, okay? But that's the main topic, and essentially the idea is, what do you do when you've sworn off pens, for a little while, and then a Grail pen falls into your lap? What do you do? And plus the Grail pen itself, what it is, how it works, very, very interesting. And what I did with it is a great story. So that's the main topic, which I think would be a lot of fun to speak about. All right, so I think that might be the last Britney Spears reference on the channel for a while. We will try to keep those to a minimum. So yeah, just a minute on gatekeeping. We got a lot to talk about tonight, but one of the things is the channel's getting more exposure toward wider YouTube lately. And people come in that aren't sort of familiar with the way we are, how generous we are, how polite and kind we are, and how giving. And you get sort of the gatekeepers that want to tell me that capitalizing a word mid-sentence is wrong, as if I don't know that. I didn't know that you don't capitalize the W in watch. It's like, of course you do, because the capital W is awesome. And any opportunity you get to write a capital W is awesome. By the way, some plows are going by, so if you hear them, I apologize for that. Evidently, we're getting more snow. So these kind of things just irk me a little. You won't see that kind of pushback from me. I care about the important things. Are you inspired? Are you writing? Are you evolving? Are you learning new things? Are you entertained by this channel? These little tiny things that you want to point out, some people, I don't get that. If it makes you happy, knock yourself out. But there you have it. So, yeah, I see a lot of lovely people here. This is a live show, and we do have an audience, and I see lots of lovely people, and I appreciate you all for being here. Can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys. So thank you. Oh, look at this. Terry Edkington. Unbelievable. Super chat. Super sticker. $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Channel support is great. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all your likes. I see quite a bit of likes as well. Terry, thank you. You've been a great support to me and the channel, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Terry's awesome. Thank you, Terry. So someone said they don't own a gate. It got away from me, but I appreciate that. And yes, I don't have gates either. We miss you, Terry said. I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back. So, yeah, we took the gates off this channel, sort of like LL Bean that took the locks off their doors because they're open 24/7. That's kind of how my channel is. It's open. All right. So, something very, very exciting happened. And I should mention, I discovered that 70% of the people who watch this channel don't subscribe. So, if you could subscribe, I'd be very happy. And then that way you'll see future videos. And I think you enjoy the channel, so don't miss out. Subscribe. Come on this journey. We're going to some pretty awesome places. So a big milestone while we were on vacation is that this channel hit 10,000 people following along on our videos and our live shows. So we now have more than 10,000 people kind of subscribe to the channel. So I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. And I feel a tremendous responsibility to give you something back for that. So I'm going to really work my hardest to keep things fresh, entertaining, and always different. So that the Hemingway Jones channel is a source of unique fountain pen centered entertainment and information for you. That's my goal. So I've never been more inspired in my life to do this. So you're going to see a lot of videos. And I'm already scheduled up until March, which is pretty exciting. And I'm going to share later some of our the videos that are coming. I think you'll find them interesting, some of the titles and stuff. So very, very interesting stuff. So I appreciate all the congratulations coming in. I see all the likes going. Thank you very much. But let me start giving you some information. Talking too much about myself. You guys are going to think that I'm conceited or something, or I'm going to be found out that I am. So, all right, I want to get into some news, and I do have some notes over here, so forgive me for looking. It's just that there's a lot to cover. We've been away for what? Really kind of 3 weeks? You take 2 weeks off. It means you've been away for 3 weeks. So I hope everyone had a great holiday and a fantastic new year, and I hope everyone's swimming and really kind of flying into the new year. So let's hope good stuff. Great. Hi, Arthur. Thanks for that. Good, kind words from Arthur. Okay. So here's some big news. And this is big Boston news. And kind of big North American fountain pen news. So Apple Boom closed their Boston store. So they had 2 stores, one in Laren in the Netherlands, and then the other in Boston. And they've decided to close Boston. Yost closed it over the weekend. He sent me a message on Sunday, and he's like, "Can you come over?" And I really wanted to, but we had about a foot of snow on the ground with more snow falling. But he didn't seem to mind. But evidently, I found out Boston got less snow than we did out here. But I couldn't make it to see him, but he had to pack everything up, and he closed his shop. He just made the decision that he could serve the country better through his online store, and physical locations are tough. But, we lost our only really dedicated fountain pen shop. So it's a sad day for Boston. We have had one probably since pens came out, and Bromfield had been there for 75 years and Yoast had it for 3. It's not easy, and eventually they're probably putting a skyscraper where it is anyway, but still, very, very sad day. And I recorded with him today on his podcast. So if you want more detail on his decision-making process and all of that, his podcast usually goes up on Fridays or Saturdays. So that'll be later this week. And I was happy to be a guest on his show because Yoast is a lovely, lovely guy. So, but, sad for Boston. Sad. So I wanted you guys to know that. That's very, very big, big news. Here's another bit of news. I had thought I was going to the Philadelphia Pen Show. I had my hotel reservation in. I was all ready to go, but we had to cancel. I can't make Philadelphia. I'm really sad about that. It's funny. My daughter has an event that we can't reschedule. And the thing is that I can't be apart from my kid. I want to. I'm working on it because there's a lot of things I miss out on. But I've never been alone overnight without my daughter since she's been born. And I know at some point she's going to sleep over someone's house. I'm just really sentimental about my kid. And I was really entertaining going anyway, just myself. But it's too much for me right now. So, but I do feel bad if you were hoping we were going to meet up in Philadelphia. I really do apologize, but I can make it up to you. I have booked Washington, D.C., and this is the Super Pen Show. I booked Friday and Saturday night. I'll be there. My family's coming with me. And we're going to do it in conjunction with a larger vacation. So if you're hoping to see me in Philly, maybe you can drive a little bit and go to Washington. So I definitely will be in Washington. Okay? And Yoast might be there as well, and some other folks. So it should be really, really, really fun. So you'll see me in Washington in August. Anyone who wants to. So that'll be really exciting. So, some other channel news. This is really funny. So I'm generally baffled about which videos do well and which videos don't do well. The videos that are really near and dear to my heart are the very personal ones where I'm talking about mental health and journaling and things like that. They tend to be the least popular. I'll still always do them because I get such amazing comments from people who watch them, and some of what I say really resonates with them. And also because I just love it. These are passion projects for me. You can tell from my editing and everything else that I put into them. I actually kind of do it everything. But I recently put up the video on depression and seasonal affect disorder, and I thought, I hope you guys really enjoyed that one. I really quite love that video. It was shot in Quebec, Chateau Frontenac, Old Quebec City, all this stuff. So I really, really hope you enjoyed it. It did fine. I'm happy, but I'm just saying it's really interesting to me that I put up another video on crosswriting, which I had intended would be a nice sort of fill-in for the live show because it was recorded live, essentially. I was talking while I was writing for the most part, and, all of it was done. I edited it down to make it a little snappier, but I wanted you guys to have something on a Tuesday night. So I recorded that. And that is by far the most popular video I've ever recorded. I only thought the Tuesday night, band of brothers and sisters would see it. The Tuesday night, our motley crew, our little corner of the internet. I wasn't expecting it to go sort of global. And it's having a lot of reach and bringing a lot of new subscribers in and people, and it's really been fantastic, but completely caught me off guard. And in a way, I started to look at it like, oh, I kind of wish I I kind of wish I was a little better with the cross writing. I wish my handwriting were better. I'm so happy to have introduced so many people to the concept, and there's some other stuff coming up in the future that's along the same lines, which I'm really excited about. And that's the kind of stuff I really want to bring into the channel. And I just never imagined it would resonate so much with so many people. So it was really, really interesting to see such the positive response to that. So thank you all for that. Mark is mentioning that he suffers from SAD, so he knows how I feel. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that. I see a lot of comments like that, a lot of support. So I appreciate that. Oh, here's somebody else too, BJ as well. So thank you guys. I really appreciate the support, and I'm happy that I was able to put that video up. We were able to talk about it. It opens up a dialogue. There's a lot of dialogues on this channel. There's a lot of threads of conversation, a lot of Easter eggs and things. For instance, somebody brought up Rick Astley, and they thought I was making fun of Rick Astley because there's a lot of Rick rolls in my channel intentionally because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Rick Astley. That's what you have to realize. I don't do anything that I don't love. My whole heart's in this channel. So there is something I did want to do. I want to show you guys the cross-writing examples. I still have them. And I think in the video, I was sort of moving them around too much. So I regret that in retrospect. Now, this was the first one. And what I'm using here is sort of what I call, and this is my term, maybe it's called that, but I call it that, overwriting. So you have your first layer, and then this is overwritten. Okay? So this is what it looks like. And if you see it static, it's much more legible than as I showed it in the video. Because in the video a lot I'm saying, look, see, you can read it fine. Well, it is a little difficult to read, and I get that. That's kind of part of the point. It's a bit of a puzzle, and that's sort of what makes it fun. Now, if you want copies of these, they're posted on my Instagram, each of them. So these are them sort of static. So I just wanted you to see them, and I want to talk a little bit more about cross-writing, because the one thing I didn't do, because I don't have the best cursive skills. You know, a lot of people did criticize how I hold my pen, which is why I opened my show the way I did and all that. I mean, I try not to pull out the sympathy card, but, you know, the one thing a lot of you guys know is that my right arm is numb. My hand is numb. I'm lucky I can hold a pen. So I don't hold myself to too high a standard. And I certainly wouldn't anyone else. I'm just glad you're writing. That's the point. It's the point of this channel. It's the point of everything. So here it is again. This is the blue, kind of wispy, with red on top. So guys, look at this. Static now. You can read that. You know? And by the way, can I have some, I guess I'm fishing for compliments, but I wrote actual letters as if these were real. So I hope I can get a little credit for that. I imagined people that I was writing to. I sort of created characters. And here it is the other way. Eric Linneman asked, did the injection help? Not really, my friend. Not so much. So I think we're going toward another step, I'm afraid to say. But I don't want to fill the show up with my problems, because I'm in an excellent mood. So you can read that pretty well, don't you think, guys? So that's the two colors, the blue and the other. Now, what I regret not having done, here's the black while I speak, the black and the oxblood. I regret not doing a slightly more elongated hand and then matching it in the other way. So it would have been a little more geometrical. I wonder if I could pull something off like it right now. I don't think I can. But I'm going to. I'm going to try. Because I like to make things hard on myself. This is Ayush paper. Do you guys know Ayush paper? Ayush paper comes from India. And by the way, I don't want to sound like a commercial, because I know sometimes I do, because I love things so much. They don't sponsor me. They've never given me free paper. I don't know them. I don't know them at all. I only tried them because I had never heard of them, and I saw them. I'm trying to remember where I saw. I think they were at Foountain Pen Revolution's website. And I was like, what's this? I'm going to try it. And I love their paper. I love it. So let me show you it. Don't know them, though. Don't want you to think this is a commercial. Your fountain pen will love this paper. Anytime paper acknowledges that fountain pens are going to be on it, I'm happy. So you got 100 grams per square meter, 50 pages, 100 sides. Well, yeah, that's how it works. If you love the tactile feeling of writing, this book is for you. So, it has some reasons why you might like it. Handles flex nibs well. Shows sheen of sheen ink. Moderate drying time. Minimal show through. Both sides are completely usable. 9mm line gap. So, this is a company, and I don't know them, but I only know they're out of India. But they understand us. They understand fountain pen users. So let me just kind of show you real quickly what I kind of wish I had done, if I can give any indication. So I kind of wish, by the way, Terrazzo Sport. You guys seem to like that video as well, the Terrazzo Sport video. So here's the Terrazzo Sport video. I'm glad you guys liked it. Here's an interesting thing about it. I got a lot of feedback from people in the comments and also on my DMs over on Instagram saying that they really liked my presentation style in the Kaweco Sport, Art Sport fountain pen video. Because I'm much more, say, sort of conversational and relaxed than I often am. And they were like, where did that come from? And here's the funny thing. It came because my mother-in-law was within earshot. So I really wanted to record, and I had my mother-in-law over the holidays. She's absolutely lovely, and had fantastic times with her and the family. But you feel very, very self-conscious when there's somebody in the house that normally doesn't hear someone making a YouTube video. And everyone was being lovely. They were in the living room doing their own things. Imogen's reading. Everybody's happy, doing their thing. And there I am recording. And the pitch of my voice just sort of changed. And it was an interesting effect. And I sort of view my voice and my presentation style as sort of an instrument. And as something that at times is performative. So you use different voices for different videos as appropriate, I think. But I do like how that came out, and I think I'll try that again in something similar, talking about another pen. So I just thought I'd mention it because I thought you guys might appreciate that. So very, very good. Okay, let's see if I can show you what I mean. So I kind of wish I had done a little more of like more stretched out. Maybe like almost like you're writing knowing that you're going to be filling in the spaces. There's a capital D. So I'm not going to go all the way across because it'll be boring. And I need to fill in a couple lines. I braced my phone so it wouldn't wiggle. So I'm not very good at this, as you probably know. But I'm trying. Oh, this makes such a great scribing noise. So then, when you turn sideways, I'm not going to do the whole page. You could do more like, you could really kind of stretch it out. It's still kind of hard. In my imagination, it worked better. Yeah, you know, like see like that. It makes it a little bit more legible. You know, that kind of thing. Kind of a little bit more geometrical and a little bit more legible. So I'm going to be working on that. I'm really digging this pen. It's a fantastic pen to just grab and carry around with you. Very light. I see a lot of love for it in the comments. Time with Tata brings it up. Brilliant. Oh, here's this. S. Wub says, I also love capital W's, and J's are my other favorites. Brilliant. So why wouldn't you use a capital W when you can? Why wouldn't you? Keeping an eye on the time, because I want to make sure we have time. I want to show you some other stuff. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of show and tell now. A little bit. So Ayush paper, very nice. Ooh, it's got a nice little grain on it. Very, very lovely. Ooh, I could touch this for a long time. It's really lovely. Hey, how do you like this? Isn't this cool? You're going to see this in a lot of videos. I'm buying more sort of backgrounds to give a little more variety. So this is gorgeous. Just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. So here's another pen that I am writing with regularly. I can't put this Scrivener down. I really like this pen. It's, you know, kind of an affordable pen. I have a video coming up on these, but I really like it. It has a nice texture to it, and I like red. I just bought a Jeep this color, by the way. I just bought a Jeep Grand Cherokee, the same color as this. I hate cars. I hate buying cars. I think they're a tremendous waste of money, but I needed one. So I bought one this color, and now I have this pen. I'm very, very pleased. Ooh, Richard. Richard has a problem. I received a Magna Carta Mag 600 for Christmas. Now all my other pens seem a little boring. Yeah, you know, Magna Carta Mag 600 is a pen that's been very, very good to me. And it sort of turns the volume down on all your other pens when you have one. Because it is really an interesting pen with a lot of flex, with an amazing amount of flex. I know some people have had issues with theirs, but I haven't. I find mine to be tremendous. So absolutely brilliant. Thanks for the likes, guys. I really appreciate it. So I want to show you some other stuff that came in. A lot of stuff is coming in. For instance, I've had a box from Conway Stewart for almost 3 weeks that I haven't opened, and I need to. It's the Indiana Jones pen, which is perfect for me, and I'm really excited to create with it. So I need to open that up, and I need to film with it. So that will be coming up, but I'm not going to show you that tonight. Anne says, Anne Riskin, I'm also torn between the terrazzo and the hickory. The white is lovely too. I'm actually partial to silver accents. Tough choice. I don't think you can go wrong. All the Kavekos are really, really lovely. Really lovely. Sandra Harris likes my turns the volume down on other pens. Very nice. All right, I'm going to show you something else. This is sort of an unboxing, but it's not in a box. Well, it's in a sleeve. So I bought this from Peyton Street. Used? I guess Terry wasn't sure. So I always wanted one of these. It's an original Pilot Elite, and it's in the original box. So it's dead stock. Here I am touching it. Maybe Terry did. Ooh. Oh, wow. Guys. That slide was so exciting. What I just did. I mean, I have an E95S. Oh, but it does not feel like that, guys. This is something new. All right, this is when I get a little weird. You know, I'm tactile, right? So I just love the feeling of things. Wow, guys, that is such an interesting friction cap. It has so much resistance. It almost pushes back a little. But one of my criticisms of the E95S is that occasionally it feels like it's going to collapse. I don't know if this is going to mess it up. Yeah, it feels a little funny with that there. I need to take this off to really post it. But I feel like it'll post much better, this Elite. Now, this doesn't feel as posh as the other, but that's sort of what I like. I mean, I think this is from the 1970s, which is when I was a kid. So I'm really excited. I think this is really cool. A beautiful aquiline nib. Like the beak of a condor. Yes. Black. Sleek. It says Elite. Just like the E in E95S. Isn't that cool? Arthur S, is that a vintage predecessor to the E95S? It is. That's why I got it. And boy, the friction is awesome, guys. Awesome. Love it. Wow, I could do this all day. Can you hear it? Yeah, that's great. That is great. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So I bought this from Peyton Street. And by the way, do you want one? Would you guys like one of these? They still have them. She has a bunch. Or is Terry a guy? I don't know. I've only seen them in writing. I don't know. Do you guys let me know? Is Terry a male? Does it matter? I don't know. But whomever they are, I love their website and I love their pens. I've obviously never met them. So this is not a commercial. I actually buy a lot of stuff on Peyton Street. So, but they do have more if you want them because I saw them still. Okay, I got another one for you. So this is from an artisanal pen maker that I met on Instagram. And she makes pens. And I'm going to show you this more next week because she's going to open her pen shop. But it's RGC Pen Makers. And she makes pens out of this beautiful wood. It's very tactile. Oh, Kurt, thank you. Kurt says Terry is indeed a woman. He spoke to her on the phone. Because I know some guys are named Terry, so I'm just trying to be appropriate, call people the right thing. So it's got this fun clip, magnetic cap, and this is a rollerball, but it has the converter for fountain pen, and it's super easy to go back and forth because you can just unscrew it. So super easy. So I'm going to show you this more next week, but this is RGC Pen Makers. And the thing, I tell you guys, I'm tactile. I love the feeling of things. And I normally don't like fountain pens made out of natural materials. But this wood feels like a fossil. It feels like it's hard, like stone. It just has a really good feel to it. I really like it. So this is fun. We'll talk more about this, though, in a future episode. But RGC Pen Makers on Instagram. I love to support artisanal small businesses. So if you're working hard, you're making pens, you're making a product, you get a lot of support here. So RGC Pen Makers. Really nice package. I got some more stuff for you. More stuff. And then I'm going to show you my Grail pen, which is the main event. So the main event is coming very, very soon. A couple minutes. This is my first Mahjong. What's up, Mahjong? Hey, I know you, Mahjong. Love the package. So I should tell you something about this pen. So I'm always looking for affordable options to share with you. And I saw this pen while I was browsing around, and I just thought it was so charming. I had to have it. My wife agreed, and she called dibs. So I'm not going to have it for very long. It's going to my wife, and she wants me to fill it up with Van Diemen's Saturn ink. So I'll probably do a video on it because I do like it, but I'm not going to own it for very long. But let me show you. Mahjong. Look at you guys are going to love this if you haven't seen it. Look at this thing. Oh, tell me that's not charming. Actually, pocket pens are kind of a theme tonight. Look at this thing. So my wife was like, I need that. And I was like, you can have it, my darling. Because I know me. It's a little chubby for me. It's a little kind of big for me. Even though it is surprisingly comfortable when you post it. And you almost have to post it. I posted it the wrong way. It's surprisingly comfortable. And it's an eyedropper. And it just looks like a big vial or something. It's really, really fun and futuristic and kind of crazy. I'm super excited for this. So we're going to eyedrop it. And then we're going to give it to my wife. I mean, I'll have to write with it for a couple days to make sure it's good. And then she's going to get it. Look at that. It's so fun. It break dances. It's an amazing pen. Look at the clip. It's so charming. You know what it almost looks like? Terry likes it. Of course Terry has it. Terry has every pen. It looks like IKEA designed a pen. A fountain pen. You know? IKEA's like I don't know what they call it, the smorgasbord. And then it's their pen. That's kind of what IKEA would do. Should I keep this plastic? Yeah, you know, I might want to film with it. Sorry for the crinkly noises. So we're going to put that away. I think we're getting to the main event now, guys. But I am super excited for the Mahjong. You know, before we get to the main event, I know I do this to you guys all the time, but I really want to share some other stuff with you. I just think you'll find it charming. But I've been keeping a lot of things for the channel. And like these, but I have some others. And I'll show you real quick. I don't want to ruin it. I'm not going to show you this because it'll ruin it. But I'm not going to show you what this is. But here's a sneak preview of something coming up. We're going to do a lot more inks on the channel, guys. And this one is coming up. Sneak preview, okay? But I'm just going to quickly run through some of these. You remember this? I kept it. It's so cool. My Anubis doodle. And how could I get rid of my cuttlefish? I love my cuttlefish. He's so cute. He kind of looks like the Ood, if you're a Doctor Who fan. They sort of look like an Ood. I think so. And then, of course, Jaeger-Bron. Midnight Blue from Mont Blanc. I think you remember this from the Dark Academic ink video, which did very, very well. I'm glad you guys liked it. Well, now I'm going to show you something to knock your socks off. But only for like a second. Hold on a second. We're just going to build up a little buzz. Look at this, guys. Look at that. Sheen. This is the king of sheen. So I'm going to say. This you've seen before. This I'm not going to show you. And this I'm not going to show you. But there you go. I don't want to ruin stuff. There's stuff coming up. And you'll know why in a couple minutes. But I'm keeping this stuff. I might have like an archive. Or I might use it for backdrops. But I think you'll like it. Miss Marilyn Darling says sheen machine. Very well done. I'm trying to think of a term. I don't want to say sheen monster because I feel like that's a cliche. And I tend to like to take cliches and sort of turn them around and turning it into a positive. So I consider cliches negatives. It's just sort of lazy writing. So I'm trying to think of something. Sheen Machine's really good, though. I kind of wish I had thought of that. But it's yours, so I'm going to have to think of my own. So, Kaylee, maybe. All right, I kept you waiting long enough. It's time for the main event, right? This is a fantastic story, and it's a lot. And I decided to have a more laid-back Christmas. I didn't want to have too many expensive pens. My wife and I were on a bit of a roll before Christmas, and there were things we needed. Wedding bands. I lost mine taking an MRI, had to have a new one. We got them for our 10th anniversary, and now we're matchy-matchy on our wedding bands. I'm very, very pleased about that. And I needed a car. My car was almost at 150,000 miles. It had a list of things that were ready to go or went. So it was time for it to get replaced. So I bought a new Cherokee, and that there's a cost associated with that, unfortunately. They don't just give you these things. I kind of wish they would. And then we also went to Quebec, which you saw in the seasonal depression video, which I hope you caught. And with all of that, I only asked for Christmas a nice sweater from my wife, which I wish I wore tonight. I should have worn. It's an Arthur Beale. It's got a fantastic collar. It looks like something Ernest Shackleton would wear. In fact, they outfitted Ernest Shackleton, but for ropes, not jumpers. So, but it looks like, do you know the Karsh portrait of Hemingway? He's got the big collar and he's grizzled and looks tough. It's one of those. So she bought me that for Christmas. It's absolutely beautiful and brilliant. I'm so very pleased. But I kind of wanted to lie low, not get a Grail pen. And then I see it online. A pen that I have been hunting for a while. And it was perfect because it was much less expensive than the other ones that I had seen online. Because you do see them from time to time, and they can be very pricey. It's a discontinued pen, so it's not just one you can buy. But that makes it all the more interesting and rare for me. It made it more desirable. So one came up, had a couple of issues, and I'll walk you through them once I show it to you. The seller was in Massachusetts, where I live. I live in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And they lived in a place that is not that far from here. So if there were a problem, I feel like I had a certain level of redress. And it came, and there were expected problems, but nothing that I couldn't handle. Fantastic price. I took care of the issues, and now I have it. All right, I think I've postponed this long enough. I want to see in the comments, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Has anyone guessed what it is? No. Lotus Garden. I wish, Allie J. It's not the Lotus Garden. So that's a fantastic wish, though, and I'm sure that one is coming at some point. So, okay, let me show you what it is. I'll turn on this one. Do you remember me saying that I'm starting to get into fountain pens that are like watches? Well, this is what I was talking about. This, if you don't know and don't have it, or have never seen it, is a Mont Blanc Bohème. And they're no longer made. They usually go online anywhere from $600 to $1,000 used. You see them for $8, you see them for $7, somewhere around there typically, in nice condition. So you got the Mont Blanc Glacier up there. You have a fake ruby here. There's some fuzz on there. The fuzz is not supposed to be there. It still has the M on it, which I do want to take off, but I want to do it correctly. I'm always worried about messing things up. So I've left it for the time being, but I am going to take that off. All right, so why is this a big deal? Because it has complications. It's kind of like me, it's complicated. And I like my pens to reflect me. So let me show you how it works if you don't know. And if you do know, just follow along and share in my joy, won't you? Let me brush this off. It is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Look at it glisten. I love it. I love this thing. It's so interesting to me. So, very tiny. I have pretty large hands, but this is a tiny pen. All right, so this is how it works. You take the cap off, and there's no nib. I love that. So then you put the cap on, and your nib comes to say hello. And then this falls into the perfect placement. It's got this little spot it falls into, and then it lines up with your nib. And it's just like perfect size now. Perfect size. And absolutely typical, super smooth Monty Blonny. Just a Monty Blonny at its finest. Hopefully I'm spelling Bohem correctly. Bohem. My wife keeps telling me to say Bohem. Hopefully I am writing that correctly. Look at how juicy this is. So juicy, so amazing. Such a fun writing experience. So silky smooth. So, very nice. Now here's the thing. That's not the end of its surprises. Okay? So it has some more surprises up its sleeve. When you're done writing with it, you unscrew it, the nib retracts. So you have this action. Now, there are some downsides to this pen. I'm sure you can see it already. It takes like 10 minutes for you to get ready to write with it because you have to assemble it. But that's part of its charm, you know. It's certainly not your everyday let me sign something in a hurry and take some notes sort of pen. It's a nice journaling pen where you can luxuriate in the experience of owning it. Just absolutely luxuriate. But here's the cool part. If you need to put ink in it, you just open the back, right? And then you turn it, and the cartridge comes out. Just like a little complication, like a clock. Look at that. The same way the nib does, but in reverse. And then you click it, and you're done. So an absolutely glorious pocket pen from Montblanc. So now I'm going to tell you some of the particulars. I'm even going to tell you how much I spent on it. So it was half of what you normally would get one of these for. So I don't think that's a lot. Now let me tell you what the problems were with it. The clip had a big scratch in it. Okay? So it had sort of a scratch that paralleled its length. And I fixed most of it, and I left some of it. I think if you go under a loop, you can see a little tiny bit. Because sometimes I don't want to overcompensate for it. Not overcompensate, like overcorrect or make it too perfect in a way, because I think this is solid gold, but it might not be. It probably isn't. It actually can't be. It can't be solid gold and be a clip. So it's gold plated, so at some point you're going to run out of plate. Right? So I'm just really careful when I do any kind of restoration. Plus, I'm only going to scratch it anyway in if I haven't already since. So what I did do is I totally covered this that only the clip was showing. And then I used Cape Cod metal polish, which is fantastic stuff. If you don't know Cape Cod metal polish, you're missing out. If you have a watch or something that has a gouge in stainless steel, Cape Cod metal polish will take it out. It's that good. It takes a lot of rubbing, though. You have to sit there and rub it for a long time. But that's what I did. I was doing something else. I think I was studying Italian. And I was doing that for probably 10 minutes. Looked down, and it was fixed. And then I cleaned it up, and it was good to go. So that solved that issue. The second issue was there were a couple of like surface scratches. These I care less about because I'm going to put them on there myself. But I still decided, just for fun, to just restore it 100%. So I took Polywatch. If you know what Polywatch is, it's a little tube of polish that you use to fix the crystals on your watches. If your crystal happens to be made out of plastic. Some really cool older watches and some dive watches and moon swatches and things have plastic crystals. So if they get scratched, you use this stuff. It works on Hardiplex too, I think. But it definitely works on plastic. And what it does is, once again, you have to rub it and it'll get hot and it sort of interacts chemically with the plastic and it removes any sort of blemish. It almost feels hot, like it's melting the surface of it or something. It can't possibly do that, but that's the feeling you get when you use it. So I used that on this and it restored it perfectly. The last thing I did was it didn't write fantastically when I first got it. And I think that's probably why it was sold the way it was. Sort of so inexpensively. So I used my shims, not shiv. I keep wanting to say shiv. And I keep thinking of So I Married an Axe Murderer. We in prison parlance called a shiv. But it's a shim. It's a brass shim. And I flossed it. I just simply flossed the nib. And the brass shim is so thin. It's like aluminum foil, but strong and brass. So I just flossed it. And it's been splendid ever since. And then, of course, it didn't have a cartridge. I put a cartridge in. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So this is my Oops, I Did It Again Grail pen restoration project story. It took me all of, I would say, 40 minutes to get it perfect. And no other nib work but flossing. The positioning is perfect. The shape is perfect. The tines are fine. I think it might have just had some gunk in there. I probably should have spent more time cleaning it. But it is absolutely a brilliant, smooth, soft, fun writer. And just a great journaling pen, but not a great pen for quick notes. Because you see, it took me like a minute to put it away. So there's that. But I love it. I love it. I love that it's small. It has incredible feminine energy to me. It sort of feels like the coolest girl in the world's purse pen. And I'm down for that. I just love it. And I also love it like in watches because I have a Cartier tank and I kind of wish I got a small one. Because when you make things smaller, they're more interesting and more concise and there's less negative space. And from a design point of view, they're just more unified and almost it feels like it's refined to a higher standard because it's a little harder to do with something small. So I just think it's just brilliant. I love the size. It's perfect. I mean, somebody with giant hands might say, oh, it's too small. I get it. But look, it rests in my hand beautifully. It's cozy. It cuddles my hand. It's just so cozy. Look at that, guys. And that ridiculous ruby there that's not real is just so much fun. I just dig it. It's just what I wanted. It's perfect. It's like a little watch. It's just great. It's just really great. I'm amazed every time I play with it, which is often. So, Bohème by Montblanc. I'm sure I'll do a video at some point. So pretty brilliant stuff, guys. Oh, we're running out of time, so let me get to some of the other stuff. I kind of want to tell you the titles of the videos that are coming, because I think you're going to dig it. And by the way, if you're here now, you must subscribe if you haven't, because you must like this channel if you're here now. Subscribe. I'm losing my voice, but I'm going to soldier on. This Thursday is my top 5 favorite fountain pens. I haven't done one of these in about a year, and my choices have changed. So that's a new top 5 fountain pen video. I think it's very compelling, and there's some new pens on it. And I think I'll do it more regularly because it's changing. It's very dynamic with me. That's this Thursday. Next week, fountain pens, yes. Keyboards, no. Font is dispassionate. So, in defense of handwriting. That's next week. I think you're going to like that one. Then, are Scrivener fountain pens worth it? Because you see them on social media. Are they worth it? So, I do a full review on Scrivener in that Hemingway Jones style. I think you'll love it. Is this the best pen for drawing? A Tom Studio pen. I call it the future of writing, Tom Studio. That is on February 1st. Really interesting video, really interesting pen. I think you're going to dig that one quite a bit. So, this next one is one of my favorite. It's called Everything Wrong with Ferris Wheel Press Inks and Why I Love Them Anyway. And it's very true. So I go through some of like how ridiculous their bottles are and all of that, and yet how much I love them. But I pick one Ferris wheel press ink. I showed you a swatch earlier, and you may have missed it. You may have seen it, but I need to leave a little bit of mystery. This is one of my best edited videos I've ever done. First time I'm talking about Ferris wheel press alone. By the way, are you noticing here that there's a pattern now, right? I'm doing more on inks. I'm doing a lot more stuff, so I think you'll like it, and there's more to come. So, February 15th, my daughter's 7th birthday, is a video inspired by the VA Handbook, who is a viewer and subscriber to this channel. Thank you. Fantastic idea for a video. I took you seriously. I made the video. And that is famous authors and their fountain pens. So this one's about inspiration, how these particular authors use fountain pens to create, and which pens they love, and a bit about the authors and music and Hemingway Jones. So I think you'll like it. I know you're going to love on February 22nd when I do the top 5 best blue inks. See, I'm really inky this year. I'm starting off strong in inks. I'm just treading ink. It's unbelievable. But yeah, that. Am I incapacitated? Incapacitated. Yeah, I like that. I'm incapacitated, ladies and gentlemen. And then on February 29th, A Tale of Two Twisbys. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be fantastic. So that is the schedule from here until the end of the year. Not the end of the year, the end of February. I wish I had it scheduled to the end of the year. I'd take a couple months off, but I have so much to do. But end of February. So there you have it. There you have it. Well, Allie J, I guess you're off the hook. I guess I'll be doing stats another night. Pretty interesting stuff. and it was fantastic. I went a little long. I tried to get everything in. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please subscribe if you haven't. Come on this journey with us. I can promise you we're going to some interesting and amazing places. And I'll keep you entertained and informed. All right, guys. My voice has had it, but my will is strong. I love you all. Thanks for being here. And we will see each other on Thursday when we talk about my 5 favorite fountain pens. So thank you very much, and I'll see you further up the road. Take care.